Svini went to Helheim, how did he not freeze to death?
A perk of the Jofer.
The boar-shifting warriors of Vanaheim, as wise in statecraft as they are deadly on the battlefield.
So they may shift into whatever form they like.
Sure, so long as the only two shapes they'd like to shift into are human and boar.
Yeah. You may tell a story, if you wish.
Am I preferable to silence at last? A rare day. I'm touched. But since you mention it, there has been one on my mind of late. It goes back to my earliest days, when I had little more to do than observe the mortals who passed through our forest. One summer, a local laird of renowned eccentricity chose to sequester himself with a small coterie of kinsmen and followers. The aim of their woodland retreat was to achieve enlightenment through study and discipline. They took oaths to brook no distractions until they became wise men.
Distractions?
Aye, women, drink, mostly women. As you can imagine, things deteriorated quickly. By autumn, tempers were frayed and wisdom remained in short supply. One day, I watched as the laird and his brother took their hunt. There they found, at the banks of a river, a lady as fair as any they'd left behind. She pleads for their assistance for fear the currents would carry her off if she tried to cross. The laird doesn't miss a beat. He hoists her onto his shoulders, carries her across, sets her down, doffs his cap, and fords back across to his brother, who is dumbfounded, can't even bring himself to speak. The day stretches on, the laird carries on hunting, and his brother quietly gnashes his teeth down to powder. Finally, the dam breaks. "Brother," he cries, "how could you do it after everything we've sacrificed? How could you break your vow like it was nothing, carrying that lass on your shoulders like you were a Shetland pony?" The laird just smiles. "Brother, I set that lass down across the river. 'Tis you that carries her still." Oh, I got a chuckle. A rare day indeed.
Freya, something is on your mind. What is it?
Freyr's sword. I'm glad he got it back.
Odin stole it?
Not quite. It couldn't be stolen. It had to be given freely. Freyr had it forged in his younger days, imbued with its own motives and passion. For centuries, he swore he would only ever set it down in death or upon meeting the love of his life. Both he and the sword were romantics, you see.
Freya, you spoke of your brother's sword. How did Odin acquire it?
I'll answer this one. Odin, disguised himself as the most beautiful person Freyr had ever seen.
This separated Freyr from his sword.
Oh, with embarrassing speed.
I am glad Freyr ultimately retrieved it.
Me too. My little fool.
Brother, I've heard my share of stories about your homeland, but I'd also heard that you once fought in a tournament.
I fought in many contests.
But this particular one, I heard you did battle with beasts, scoundrels, princesses, the undead, automatons, and history's greatest musician. That's not true, is it?
I would not speak of this.
Fair enough, brother.
Your master is no more. Be at peace. Have it your way, then.
Well, if there's more of these Asgard fragments out there, the Einherjar will continue to be a nuisance for the realms.
Only if we do nothing. The realms will never heal if they remain.
How many more?
Only one way to find out.
Good thing you learned the runes, brother.
Unsafe roads. Careful, traveler. This road leads to Nivalir shore, but so too does it lead to dangers beyond mention. If you give a damn about your own safety, you will find an alternate route to the City of Iron. Should you succeed, find me, so I can spread the word of whichever route you took that didn't end with you getting your skin peeled off by your body by something hungry and pissed off. Durlin. I really should have came to this area ages ago, shouldn't I have?
Hey, near the little shop I'm running out in the Alpine Desert, there's something y'all are probably gonna see.
Lunda.
Hi there. I wanted to ask, do you want me to stop talking about your muscles and how you look and stuff? Because it seems like it's making you all wiggly, like in a bad way.
It did, but no longer.
Oh, okay. So I should stop? Sounds like I should stop.
No.
Oh, all right, handsome. You beefcake?
To the prison. Make haste to the prison that has fallen in Niflheim. The Allfather may be gone, but we will carry out his will and ensure the prisoner never sees the light of day again. The Queen. I think this was dropped by one of the enemies that I fought earlier when I was recovering the remnant of Asgard. And I think I might have a good idea who's in the prison.
You again. You know, you're the reason Odin's thugs are marching around the city.
We're killing all the Einherjar we can find, if that's any consolation.
Whoa, whoa! How about we just take that outside? This is a peace-loving establishment.
Odin is gone.
So they say. Hence the state of teetotaling perfection you see before you. The man before you is as sober as the day he was born.
You are still drinking.
This is goat's milk.
It is brown.
It was an ugly goat. Look, the point is, it actually happened. A man lives with a boot on their face long enough, they lose hope their cheeks will ever feel the same. None of us ever really thought we'd get rid of Odin. That we did, and that you helped. Well, it's not something anyone's likely to forget.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, same to you.
Pass the field of Callus.
For King Rome!
Not worth wasting my breath over. His Berserker champion's even less so. Trash. Just a lot of them.
Why wait until now to speak of them?
Before, there was nothing to be done. And finding that help changed things.
I
don't understand why they keep fighting. Can't they sense Odin is dead?
They are soldiers. They will always be loyal to him, alive or dead. It is a matter of honor.
Yes, they will continue to follow his orders and keep the realms under his thumb.
Not for long, they won't.
They gather the fear.
For later!
Lyra after what they did.
Lyra? I've never heard of it.
It was a peaceful kingdom, full of artists and poets. But it fell to ruin long ago.
And these berserkers were responsible.
Them and their accursed King Thrall. What little blood I have still boils at the thought.
Your former home, I assume.
Let's just take this victory and move on, eh?
There is no need to shoulder this burden on your own.
Admittedly, you're shouldering the brunt of the work here. Let me worry about the emotional burden.
Passion. It's incredible what they take from you. I used to love mining, reaching into the hardened earth and pulling out its fruits, filth under my nails, the stains of the realm's blood smeared on my clothes. I'd take my bounty home and hammer it into something beautiful, something that was mine. Now I do it for you, for the Aesir. Now I do it because you'll beat me if I don't. The beatings I can handle, flesh heals. But you took my passion. Every day I wake up and I dread doing the very thing that once gave me purpose. So that's it for me. I'm going to fill a pack with my greatest works of metallurgy, and I'm going to walk into that godforsaken bay. Whatever awaits me in Helheim can't be worse than doing this every day. You can consider this my resignation.
That's some of Kvasir's poetry.
Well then, let's read it up. Sanguinity? A deadly tale of blood-slick misery conjured into being by I, Kvasir. Kill and die, wound and sigh, bleed and perish, slash and cry. Inject and deflect, think and reflect. Fire, expire, murder, infect. The moon grows crimson, the mad townsfolk shout. The city a prison, carve your way out. Although I haven't played it, from what I know about it, that sounds like it could be Bloodborne. But I am going to look it up later, of course, and post whether or not I am correct right here. There you go. My gosh, we only have one more of these poems to uncover.
Okay, I'll just say it. I'm getting a really terrible feeling from this place.
This was where we freed the imposter. Tyr.
Oh,
Odin took our noblest instincts and used them against us.
it's what he always does.
We will bear the weight of our mistakes, not with guilt, but with footsteps heavy with purpose. Come, we have work to do.
I believe that's the last of them.
And that's the last of them. Spectacular work, I guess. Not that I care. You mean nothing to me. Nothing at all.
That's great, friend.
You're not my friend. Goodbye. I love you.
Good gracious. Bidvar the Fierce. Starroll for the Troublesome.
significance?
It's a symbol of their betrayal, their cruelty personified. The sooner we're done with it, the better.
If I can make peace with my blades.
I suppose you're right. If Skofnung rids the land of these bastards, I can stomach its presence a bit longer. I just had a thought. With Asgard destroyed, where will the Einherjar go?
Valhalla exists both inside and outside of Asgard. Who knows what became of it?
Aye. Suppose they'll have to find rest somewhere.
Get over here and hit this charm, you lumbering fucking ox.
Hello, Ratatoskr.
Hello, Master Kratos. What you've accomplished for these realms is truly something I never thought possible. Rest assured, good Master Brock would be proud beyond measure, even if only to express it in his love language of profane non-sequiturs. But he is terribly missed.
Yes, he is.
Now, there is one rather interesting development to apprise you of. The detonation of Asgard shook the world tree to its very roots, dislodging a great number of realm seeds. I thought you might wish to have them. My little way of saying, thank you for preventing my death by immolation.
You are welcome.
Well, any questions before you travel on?
Here.
This one has a strong personality. Good thing I've got experience with those. All of the little ones are now safely settled in their new home. You have my gratitude.
Thorough job. My respect.
You sought the dragon's offspring. Why?
To alleviate my heart-rending loneliness, of course.
Oh, that was awfully forthcoming of you.
I normally wouldn't be so candid, but it appears that Anxious Squirrel has learned a thing or two from you about, what was it? Not caring about how others perceive you? So I will permit you this one glimpse of my weakness.
To require others is not a weakness.
My goodness. I had not expected such emotional intelligence from one of your... girth?
I do not care.
Oh, well, this was a delightful conversation. What else is there?
Ratatoskr, I'm curious. You said the tree had plans for you. What exactly has it got you doing?
What do I not do, my decapitated delight? I overlook and maintain the stability of the realms, ensure that everything is running smoothly, and, of course, I tend to the world tree. I listen to it, make sure its needs are met.
Do you talk to the tree?
The tree does not speak in any tongue, but its intentions are clearly felt. Yes, I do realize how, for lack of a better word, kooky that sounds, but it is true.
Is it saying anything right now?
It's saying stop asking stupid questions.
Bitterness, manners. But yes, it is saying something along those lines.
Now, I know it's hard being here without them, but I'm sure old Brock would be glad you're here. And I'm sure Sindri, wherever he is, would appreciate you tidying up after yourself. Now go ahead.
Mimir, did I do enough to prepare Atreus?
The lad survived bloody Ragnarok. I should think he's as prepared as anyone could be.
To survive, yes. But to love.
Brother?
Angrboda. Does he...
Oh. Well, there were certain topics on which I suppose I may have been a touch more approachable. I did my level best to teach him the ropes.
Then you taught the boy to woo?
To be perfectly honest, brother, I taught him how I wish I'd wooed.
It's strange. There are still signs of the world serpent all over the lake. But we saw him disappear at Ragnarok.
That can only mean the legend was true all along. That blow from Thor sent Jormungandr straight back in time. A younger Jormi, fresh from Jotunheim, who would grow into the serpent we know.
When we first met the snake, you said that he found Atreus familiar. Perhaps they met in Jotunheim.
Perhaps so, brother. We'll have to ask the lad for that story when we next see him.
When Jormungandr attacked Thor in Asgard, it seemed personal somehow. But there's no way they could have met before that, is there?
I've been pondering that, and I have a theory. We know the lad spent his time in Jotunheim learning soul magic. But perhaps the serpent figured in.
You mean Atreus placed some other giant soul into him? Someone who already hated Thor to begin with?
Exactly! Though that doesn't narrow it down much, I grant you. I wonder if Yorm even remembers after all this time who he once was. Aye, give him what for!
I'm glad we can help these Einherjar on their way, even if they hate us for it.
They do not need to spend their afterlife serving a cruel god any longer.
Agreed. I wonder how many of these fragments of Asgard there are.
A realm's worth at least, so I'd say we have our work cut out for us. Seems like old times. Oh, we used to travel through this temple constantly. A quick how do you do to Brock, then off on another adventure.
You miss it?
Aye. Everything felt simpler then.
Agreed.
A realm travel room. This place has seen better days.
Haven't we all?
Kratos, do you remember when I brought you and Atreus in here for the first time? Seems like lifetimes ago.
I do. And it was because of your guidance we were able to fulfill Faye's last wish. And yours as well, Mimir.
You said you and Thor caused that?
Yes.
It's like the one in Vanaheim. Your axe and Thor's hammer clashing leaves impressive destruction.
That relic. Do you suppose it's the one we read about? Something to counteract a sleeping curse?
Receipt of purchase. It is with great pleasure that I, Ingolfjoni, hereby transfer ownership of my most prized relic to one Alvi Stonefoot, in exchange for 1/4 equity of his fledgling forge, 79 pieces of hack silver, and 1 wheel of dry-aged Gamelost. May it awaken for him a trove of untold adventure and fortune. No returns or refunds accepted. No idea what this does, and I kind of want to look it up. What is it called again? Mystical Heirloom. What does that do? Apparently, if you use it at some points throughout the world, it'll awaken, trolls from their slumber, and you can fight them as a sub-boss. And they give you stuff called Slumber Stones, which is a unique resource only found on enemies that will unlock the crafting labor to create the Steinbjorn armor. And its extremely powerful defensive set allows you to stun enemies and heal yourself when taking damage. That sounds pretty freaking worth it. I might look into that.
Come on! How are you in there so deep?
Am I hearing voices again?
You are Atreus' friend.
Oh! Hi, hey, you're Loki's dad, right? Saw you at the whole Ragnarök thing. I'm Skilder.
The lad who's been organizing the displaced Midgardians. What are you doing?
Oh, Loki told me this story about Odin inviting him to Asgard and giving him an Aesir coin that you threw away, and well, I thought I'd come here and see if I could find it. And I did, if you can believe it. But, it's kind of stuck, because you're, like, crazy strong, apparently. I'm sorry, did you want to keep it?
No. It is yours.
You sure? It's probably really valuable. I mean, that's not why I'm after it, but if I were gonna sell a genuine Asgardian artifact touched by at least 3 gods, I'd expect that'd fetch, well, a whole lot. Probably enough to buy my own boat, set out and make my fortune.
The coin is yours. Good luck to you.
Thanks. You too. And, if you see Thrud, never mind.
You sure we shouldn't help him out?
He needs to feel he earned it. Let him do so.
We're heading back to Charlie?
Yes.
He's not going to be very happy with me. Charlie. I'm sorry, I have no excuse for neglecting you. I will do my best to earn it.
Well, shame that's the last of Cavassier's poems.
Why not write your own?
Been a while since I dipped my quill into the ink pot of poetry, but maybe it's time to try again.
The Dead Do Not Ride, in which Cavassier relays a poem of oil-slick rotting flesh. Horses of steel and oil and leather, brothers who fight and fall together. They rise from beneath, a new day dawns. The future has teeth and yesterday's gone. Ah ha ha ha. Yeah, that definitely sounds like Days Gone. I did try that at one point when it was free on PS Plus, and I honestly couldn't really get into it. Maybe one of these days I'll give it a second chance, because even though it has kind of a mixed reception from critics, just casual general players seem to like it fine, so maybe I was too hard on it. Maybe I'll give it another try.